A CBS News Colorado investigation. Less than a week after two people were found dead at a Denver hotel turned homeless shelter, your investigator Brian Moss is uncovering a worrying trend. He found numbers showing that since the DoubleTree on Quebec Street was converted to a homeless shelter, calls to Denver police have skyrocketed. That includes calls for assaults, threats, and overdoses.
Yeah, it's towards the end of the day, so everybody's already in or on their way in.
Mike Morales says in the last 3 months, this industrial area in the Denver Central Park neighborhood where he works has slipped.
Upwards of 3 times a week, you'll see the fire department, you'll see ambulances, you'll see any kind of first responders right there just parked right in front of the building.
He's talking about the former DoubleTree Hotel, 100 yards from his traffic sign and barricade business. The hotel that the city turned into a homeless shelter in December, part of the mayor's plan to house the homeless. Morales says every day he now sees hotel residents doing drugs, walking the streets like zombies, as he puts it, and impacting his employees.
She was the first one here in the morning and would lock the doors as soon as she got here, and she carried mace just because of the kind of people that are right there and the way that they would just walk up and down the streets in the middle of the morning, so she was worried about her safety.
And these new numbers suggest there is plenty to worry about. Last September, October, and November, there were 13 calls for police help. But in the 3 months since it was turned into a homeless shelter, 391 calls for police, a nearly 3,000% increase, with calls for sex assaults, deaths, overdoses, and disturbances.
So they recently cut this part of the fence.
Morales says last weekend someone tried to burglarize the business. He suspects it's connected to the increasing number of homeless now in this neighborhood. In January alone, 244 calls for service to the new shelter. That's more than 7 a day. And last weekend, 2 people were murdered here.
And we're here fully dedicated to ensuring that this site runs safely and smoothly for the guests that are here and for the surrounding community.
Cole Chandler, the mayor's senior advisor on homelessness, says he's now on site full-time, and other steps are now being taken to tighten up security here. New security cameras inside and outside the hotel. 24-hour Denver police surveillance, door alarms, and only one entrance.
People were able to kind of come and go to this building without us always knowing exactly who was coming inside.
He says residents are now being educated, too, on not constantly calling 911 for help. Mike Morales hopes steps like those work so he and his employees can let their guard down.
You have to be more mindful of your surroundings more than ever, I would say 100%.
I'm Brian Moss, covering Colorado First.
Cole Chandler says all those calls for police services are to be expected and that they're similar to calls for larger homeless encampments.